Well, hello everybody. I'm Nashville guitarist and shrapnel recording artist Johnny Hiland, and I am here today to talk to you about my new beautiful amplifier by CEC Amplification. It's called the Johnny Hiland Road Dog. And I'll tell you what, this amp is a dream come true for me, folks. I'll tell you what, this amp is insane. I love it. And for all you chicken pickers out there, I know you will too. And I'm going to walk you through it and show you just how user-friendly and easy this little bad boy is. So we're going to start and just talk about how the amp was designed and what it actually does. This is a 100-watt 212 combo, and essentially in this combo you have a volume and a master volume over here on the other end. But you also have a gain knob. Okay? Now this is a 6L6 loaded amplifier, and of course what I love about it is through the preamp you're actually able to break up the amp more and still keep your volume down if you choose to. That's why we have no actual wattage switching in the back, because we don't need to. So, to be honest with you guys, I've got, as you can see, I got the master down at about 10 o'clock, got my regular volume at about 11, and the gain actually at about 11 as well. And then of course, we have a bright switch above that, between those two knobs. And then of course we have your standard treble, middle, and bass knobs. And then of course we have what I refer to as the Johnny reverb section, because I do not like to play amps with no reverb. And so Craig was so kind to put in this reverb section for me, where it's actually switchable. So if you want to shut the reverb off, you click it all the way to the left and your reverb's completely out. So the amp actually does what it's supposed to do, just dry. So it's really kind of neat to be able to have that function, especially when you're in the studio and the engineer's just really fussing at you about using too much verb. Then you can just bloop, click it off and you're done. So that makes it pretty awesome, to be honest. But we'll get into the reverb section in just a moment. So actually, with the reverb section, you have a switchable, you have 3 reverbs that are actually switchable in this. And of course, the knob to the right of it actually allows you to choose how much of the verb you want. And of course, I like to saturate pretty good sometimes, especially on country ballads and things like that. So, and of course, your master volume's here on the end with your standby switch and your on and off switch. So to be frankly honest, folks, it's one of the easiest amps in the world to run. And of course, being a legally blind guy, I want to make sure that I can see what I'm doing with my amplifier and make it easy enough to where I can be in the middle of a show and turn around and just feel and know where I am. And of course, that's why we stuck with a simple design for me. And of course, I'm a pedal player. And I do have a pedal board down here on the floor next to me. But right now, I'm running this amplifier completely dry. There's no effects running to this amp at all. So that's just a stock tone, folks. Now, check this out. Let's go back to the gain structure in this amplifier. And it's so awesome because I have always been a huge Danny Gatton fan. And Danny actually used lower wattage amps cranked up. Now, of course, we all know Danny liked Tweed Twins as well, where he could get uber loud and still have a nice breakup. But I wanted to have access to that breakup as well, even though I'm the style player that likes to use effects pedals on a pedal board down at my feet, but actually have a real uber clean amplifier, in which you can tell it's really clean. But with the gain structure in this amp and the gain knob right next to my regular volume, I actually have flexibility to change how this amp responds and how it sounds in the gain structure. Totally based on the preamp. So I'm going to turn this gain knob up a little bit and my regular volume down some and show you what this amp will actually do if I crank the gain pretty much all the way up. Now, I'm going to turn my master down a little bit too, because it can get pretty loud. Now if I add a little verb to that, let me add just some of the mid verb. The second verb here is kind of like your smaller reverb. Now you'll actually, if I go to my neck pickup, I really love the breakup that I get naturally in the amp, because It's really good for like blues rhythms, you know. Now I want a little bit more verb to go with that. So now, to get the blues tone that I really want to add a little more high. So I come over here to my treble and I crank it up even a little more. Do I want it a little beefier? Well, you might want to turn the mids up a little too. The bass I've got it about 1 o'clock, so I'm going to leave it there. So, you know, it's kind of cool. I'm able to get the twang that I want, but I'm actually in full control of how this amp is going to respond. Now, the other thing I want you to know is if you turn the bass down a little more, you're going to get more treble. So I'm going to move the bass down just a number and a half and check the difference out in the treble end. So as you can hear, it makes a big difference. Just bringing that bass down just a little bit. Same thing will happen if I turn the mids down a little bit. Check it out. And you know, I got to tell you folks, you'll have to forgive me because I noticed Steve Vai, when I played on stage with Steve, the many times that I've been blessed to, he makes faces. And you know what? The older I get, the more faces I make. So I apologize if you see me over here having too much fun. And, of course, people like to send me pictures like that, and my goodness, man, I can make some funny faces. All right, so back to the amplifier. Now, if I want to get more of the Danny Gatton tone, I'm going to switch back to my bridge pickup now. And I'm going to go ahead and bring my bass back up a little more. And I'm going to bring my master up a little more. Alright, so now here's the feature of this amp that I really call my Danny Gatton feature. And of course, being the massive Gatton fan that I am in love with this. Check this out. I'm in the second reverb position, but if I go to the first one, check out what it does for me. And I'm going to crank the level of this all the way up. So check this out. I'm going to be in full Danny Gatton mode. Check this out. So I have a slap delay in the first position of my reverb. Now, most people would say, well, man, why'd you do that? Because I'm a Danny freak. I can't help it. And I know all you Danny Gatton fans out there will appreciate that. And, of course, all you rockabilly cats out there. So, and it does have a little verb on the back end of that slap delay as well, which makes it pretty doggone cool. Now, of course, do I have the flexibility to remove some of that if I want and have just a little bit? Sure. Check it out. I moved the knob, the level knob of the reverb back to about 2 o'clock from all the way, and I get... So it's just slightly there. And if I move it up a little more... Sounds pretty cool, don't it? I love it. I really do. So now, I'm going to go back, and I'm going to bring the gain back just a little bit, bring the regular volume up a little more. And now I'm going to go ahead and turn to the third position of the reverb, which is a nice, syrupy, beautiful delay, or excuse me, reverb that I absolutely love, and I'll show you why. When you're playing like second position stratty kind of tones, check this out. add just a tite more treble to that, or bring my bass back a little bit to get more of that creaminess in that Strat tone. Oh yeah, and folks, did I tell you my amp was really responsive? It's incredible. You have to literally play one to believe it. I tell people that Craig Wildenrod, the owner and designer of all CEC amplification products, from being the Sucker Punch or the Brigand or the Johnny Road Dog, I mean, the man makes amplifiers that literally feel like they have a soul to them because they totally relate to you as the guitar player. And I love that he was able to capture that even in a chicken picker's amp like myself. So, you know what, folks? The amp is actually relatively easy to run. And, of course, what I'm so amazed with is, now let's start adding some pedals to this. And let me show you how well the amp takes pedals. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to set all my, just kind of on my natural settings. And I'll stay on that creamy, nice open-ended reverb. I'm going to bring my gain back again to where I had it before. And keep my regular volume and my gain at about 12 o'clock. I'm going to bring my master up a little more. But now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn my master all the way off for a second. And I'm going to turn on a few pedals here. Let's see, I want to turn on my ego compressor, my ISP decimator, and, whoops, let me adjust one thing. Okay, now I've got my delay on, and I use a longer delay on my pedal delay. So now I'm going to turn my master volume up. Now check this out. Now it's even creamier. And my goodness, man, it feels so good when you add just a touch of compression. I don't like to squeeze with a compressor too much because it takes away, literally, from the real tone of your amplifier. So now I'm going to go ahead, keep this same reverb, and I'm going to turn my treble back just a little bit, bring my master all the way down. We're going to add some dirt. I'm going to add our Jetter Redshift pedal to this, and you're going to hear how amazing this amp sounds. It's pretty incredible, folks, I assure you. Now, I'm going to bring the reverb back some, because I don't need that much with the delay that I'm running. And check this out. Spank for you if you want her to. Now, can I roll off a little more on my treble? Sure I can. I can thicken it up a little more, beef it up a little more with the mid-range, and you know, it'll sound more like this. folks, you can do virtually anything you want to do with pedals in this great amplifier. And I'm only giving you a small preview, but I assure you folks, there you can have a whole bunch of fun with this Johnny Hiland CEC Road Dog. And you know what, if you haven't had a chance to check one out, it's going to be coming out in a store near you real soon. So make sure that you get a chance to sit down with one, because I guarantee you that you're going to absolutely love what this amp offers. I promise you that. And I am so proud to have my name associated with such a great company as CEC. Craig Wildenrod is an amazing builder, and he has literally built me, again, the amp of my dreams. So folks, go check out a Johnny Hiland CEC Road Dog today. God bless y'all, and thanks so much.